My thing says go live. Now it says end stream. Now we're good. Now we're on. Hello. Hello, my people. That's what I always want to say. Hello, my people. We might be a small but mighty crowd tonight, but it's Father's Day Eve. I don't like holidays. How about you guys? If you are a father, which I'm not sure, I don't know. My glasses aren't on. But if you're a father, happy Father's Day. If you are a mother playing both roles, happy Father's Day. What's the worst holiday? What's the worst holiday, Doug? Doug is in the house. Or the apartment. What?
Mother's Day.
Oh my God. Could you all hear that? Hi, Angie. You are my people, Kim. I'm glad you're here. I've missed you guys too. What Doug said, hey, Jocelyn, glad you're here. What Doug said the worst holiday was, I'm sorry, I'm not looking up there yet. Some podcasters don't. They just look over here the whole time. But I like eye contact when I can make it. Guess what Doug said was the worst or is the worst holiday for him? Did you hear it already?
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Yes. Oh, Mother's Day is the worst. Trying to decide how vulnerable to be right now. How vulnerable can I be right now, Doug? On a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is just
5.
A 5. We have 8 children. So odds are in our favor that I'll hear from at least a few of them. But anyway, let's just say I've spent a Mother's Day or 2 or 3, maybe the first one, curled up, crying a little bit. The first one in the bottom of the shower, fully clothed. That was a hard one. And then a little bit better. The second one, okay. The third one, a little bit better. Zenzation. This is your first live, and here I am talking about crying, curled up on the bathroom, not the bathroom floor, the shower floor. So anyway, Mother's Day is, I don't have a lot of expectations. No expectations. The key to a happy life, my friends. No expectations, not low expectations, no expectations. Also, telling people what you need. If you do need something, I cut my own hair, but let's say I go and get my hair cut. And I'm hoping that Doug notices my hair. Now, Doug is not a words of affirmation kind of guy. But what we've learned to do with each other is, let's say I'm headed home from Sunset Boulevard. How long would it take home, depending on time of day? 15 minutes or an hour and a half? And why were you making that face at me?
When has it ever been 15 minutes?
I don't know. Is that down by the Comedy Store?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll text him and I go, hey, I'm excited about my haircut. So please tell me it looks good. You know, things like that. What?
You don't have to say that much.
I never get my haircut. Excuse me. What would be another example? Doug works from home now with helping with this, and which we hope the goal is to do daily. Although the weekend is kind of fun because Baron does weekends sometimes. Candace doesn't. That's so funny. I'm putting myself in that category, but hey, manifestation. I put together a few video clips to share. There's not a huge prompt here. I wanted to send my love to people, because holidays are weird. Yes, my daughters, I have 3 daughters, and they are all very beautiful. And the 2 birth daughters look so much like me, and their personalities, one is very artsy and creative and, an empath. The other is, staged. One is on the stage, the other loves, managing the stage or producing the stage. They don't necessarily do either. But Samantha's performative. Like, she just did some hosting at the Tonys. What are you doing? Yes, I see Charlie's Angels. She's amazing. I appreciate her. I will read it. Please cover Erika. She said she sleeps in her daughter's room. Oh, honey, I am so on that. Well, she said, didn't she say that her daughter sleeps with her in her bed? And I'm working on it. I have a video about halfway done. I'm getting ready to upload. I like filming and editing and throwing in clips. Those videos, if it's 12 minutes, it can take me a solid 2 days. Like, I'm talking 10-hour days even. And it's ridiculous when I say that out loud. It just sounds absurd. But I'm finding clips and I'm going through. I just found an incredible archive of Candace and Charlie clips that I'm going to put together and put up here. But okay, Erika said, I don't even know what event this was, but I saw the clip of her talking, the one where she kind of blends in with the chair. And she says that essentially, she's being cheeky. I don't think Gigi is necessarily putting up a fight, but she says that her daughter is sleeping with her because she needs her to.
The daughter needs her or the mom needs
Oh,
her?
I'm sorry. Thank you. See, what would I do without you here? That Erika needs her there. And it reminded me, see, this is what happens, and this is why my videos take so long, is, well, from my perspective. So I think about that, and it takes me back to the Barry Weiss interview, the town hall, where Erika was out of her mind. If you watch that, I was like, holy hell, like, she's not okay. Like her mood, she's angry the whole time. She's sitting like this, and I almost said a loaded gun. But she seems to have two speeds, either that "Rawr," or the I'm going to play meek and mild kind of thing. So her saying in this clip I saw that whether she wants to or not, she is going to sleep in bed with me, and she said she probably needs me. I probably need her more in my bed than she needs me in hers. And I thought, that's the same result. It's just a question of whose bed you're in, right? I get that right? Okay. So in the CBS interview, she says, "Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. And you help keep us going with your gifts. I very much appreciate that. And when you visit our thinkhappystuff.com, that's, I don't want to say our merch, but I guess that's what it is. All right, let me get to it. So in the CBS interview, I've built this up enough, haven't I? She says, in talking about what people, it was another one of those spiels. I don't know if she's trying to manifest, where she's like, I don't care what people think of me. That's not the direct quote, but she's like, I care about my daughter, my 3-year-old, running up into my arms. And it was like making me feel better. Like, it's literally something like that it was something she needed from her daughter. I have not heard her express anything that communicates care for her children. I'm pretty sure. Please comment. Hello. I want to, Kier Michelle. Is it just Michelle? Can I say that? Thank you. I love the love. She says, my favorite lady in the whole world. Hi, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, and what about her son? her son's name is Max, or goes by Max. And you know how we figured that out? Not that I was trying to figure it out, but who's the money lady that kind of got booted? Honey, will you turn the air off? Because I think it's gonna pick up. Come on, who's the money lady? The Doug said she got fired. But then still not. I almost said Susie Wiles, not that. You know, the Stacy. Who is saying Candace died? Oh, is it Mac? Okay. I don't know any rumor about something happening to Candace. So much clickbait in there. If you hear an automated voice, an AI voice, just ignore it. Just move on. Just move on. If it's pretending to be a news source and there's no news logo, or just move on. Shoot, what was I saying? Stacy Sheridan at the memorial just said his name. And I had never heard his name before. And by that time that's probably when I started to pay closer attention. That's when I first posted my, if you're watching this and it doesn't seem, right, like you're not crazy. It's not just you. Not just you. So Jocelyn, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She said, awful to say, but I think the children are an inconvenience. I agree in that she never wanted to be pregnant. I very much believe that Erika has not been her true self since when she met Charlie. She has said things, and going back and watching these videos in hindsight, like when I'm going to pull a clip, things pop out at me. She said in the Jesse Waters interview that it's easy to have regrets. Where else have you heard her say that? I have never heard her say anything other than that. And then it seems she goes into overcompensating mode. Just don't fight, that Fox morning show. Just don't fight. It's so easy. It's absurd. Like, if you saw a recent video, I said that's when I knew their marriage was in serious trouble. Obviously, they fought the night before. There's no question about that. People commented that he looked upset the next day. I digress. I agree. And maybe not so much that she didn't want children, but she wasn't prepared, or she wasn't wired that way. In her Amazing Race audition tape, I think from 2015, it's ridiculous what I know. But you guys seem to appreciate it, so I got you. She says that she led a gypsy lifestyle. And one of those, I just saw this, where she said that she would travel around the world for her, not charity work, not volunteer work. What's the other word? No, not mission work, but it was a blatant lie that, there was that basketball player whose name escapes me, who was in China and maybe Portugal. And that's why she was there. Now, this occurred to me. The reason that I think she set up these charities when she was 17 was that she was in the pageant world. And in that world, you need to share your good deeds. And it looks good. And I think that's what she was doing. Now, the whole Romania thing, I have questions about, because people like Franklin Graham, there are already charities and organizations set up where you put together shoe boxes of Christmas gifts. If you're not familiar, she started this thing. So she connected with somebody over there. She decided Romania, through the military, was why she needed, I'm sorry, was where she needed to be to deliver these Christmas boxes. Maybe it was just because they didn't have any. Maybe her mom already had contacts there. And honey, please stop tapping. Please stop tapping your. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? I'm ADD, and Doug will do this tapping thing now and then, or on his leg or whatever. And I'm like, I can't, like, but he just looked at me like, like, what? You know me. Now you're eyeing me. All right, Doug's into the soccer match. Who's playing? Japan,
Tunisia.
Tunisia. I was like, what is TUN? Okay, so Romania. So it may just be nothing nefarious at all that her mother had business over there. She's doing the pageant world. She has to create a charity because it makes her look good. I don't know. I don't know. Some Kim just said, Doug, stop it. Carrie said, tapping drives me nuts. Yinzer, 1987. Is that, please tell me that's when you graduated high school. I graduated in 86. Yeah, 86. I'm banging feed buckets, feeding my horses. Oh, and now I have ADHD and totally thought you somehow heard it. Hi, Seaside. World Cup is bringing the world together. I got so angry yesterday when I learned what our government and the other one that we are joined with. There were other phrases coming to mind about our connection with them, but I'm behaving. When I heard this systematic oppression of they're not allowed to stay in the States, they have to go to Tijuana, that the players all got visas, but some of their officials did not. They had to, fly back to Mexico immediately after their match. It infuriates me. We have no power. We have no power. And maybe we didn't, for a really long time, and we're just waking up to it. There's definitely a waking up going on. Most, I'm left leaning, and most of my, not fully there, but I'm left leaning. I would say most of my base now is here in social media is conservative. I actually got kind of bummed a couple weeks ago. I don't have much framework or whatever for time right now, because there are these podcasters that I've connected with, but they're very, conservative. I mentioned this once, and Baron, I don't know if you're going to hear this because I know you watch sometimes, but when he did something about liberal lady hands, and I was like, oh yeah. And what's going to happen when we get through this? And I hope that we are learning to communicate with each other. Who do you think Charlie was giving the aisle to during his interview with Megyn Kelly? Either Blake or Erika. I have a feeling it was Erika. They weren't doing well. What I want to know, and there was a woman on TikTok who offered to do research. I want to know why they sold their house. They had a big house that sold for about 5.5 million, and they sold it. I think, he made good money on it. And they have other properties, I think, in Florida, but they're in a condo and have been for a little while. Have you seen pictures of where, like, Erika, like, lets them, like, I guess Gigi, like, draw on the walls with crayon? And the artist in me is is all for it. But a reporter for the New York Times, which still, I saw a clip, one of these little videos I came across where Erika is making fun of the New York Times because she knows Charlie hates it. They were engaged at this point. He introduces her as, he refers to her as his fiance, and she rags on the New York Times. But then 11 days after, or 8 days after, does an interview with the New York Times, who had recently misquoted him and caused a major headache for him. But I think they were having serious problems. In this video montage I'll share, I'll put it together tonight, but that might be tomorrow based on some of your time frames, or time zones. There are so many videos of Charlie just heaping like respectful praise upon Candace, speaks so respectfully with so much admiration of her. And then in the, I guess, more recent ones in the last few years, I'm not really familiar with their timeline, their dynamic. He says basically that he's been encouraged like not to be friends with her. And he's like, I'm not going to do that because we disagree about things, and don't tell me who I should be friends with and I shouldn't. In his Megyn Kelly interview on August 6th, he said that if you tell him to not do something, and Megyn Kelly said she was the same way, it makes him want to do it more. But his respect for her stayed consistent. On his podcast, actually, Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff were on there. And I think Ben Shapiro had attacked her and Charlie defended her. I haven't watched closely enough to see what Blake and Andrew's reaction was. But there's no way that all of a sudden he flipped and didn't want anything to do with her. And that's what they're trying to propagate, is this idea. Tracy Martin, the only person, the only friend speaking up, and she should stop. I find myself almost giving this advice, but that many have given, of just, man, if you would just stay home, not just Tracy, but Erika, just lay low for a while. But right now, Erika is on this campaign because, legal stuff is rolling. And every interviewer, babe, do you have to keep?
I'm working the chat.
Oh, he's working the chat. All right. What was I saying? Anyone who interviews her says, you're killer. Honey, you might have to go to the other. Can you maybe do it from the other room if you're going to do that? You are clanking on those keys. I want you here, but it's like, I can't focus at all. You're getting it real. See, that's why, when Erika was just, I don't care what time you get home. I'll have your dinner ready. I'll reheat your dinner. And she tells a story. What event was that? She was in the sparkle suit. And so Amfest. And she said, Charlie was invited on Air Force One. And she was like, good for you, baby. I'll stay with the kids and I'll close this out for you, even though you're dumping it on me. She inadvertently tells on herself. She shared a note that he wrote, one of the Saturday notes. And he says, I know it's hard. I don't want to, I can't quote it exactly, but it's clear. I know it's hard being at home with the kids. And, oh my God, you guys, I got to be really careful how I say this. I've been in touch with 2 people that were in Aspen. Spoiler, he didn't say it. He did not say it. And I was going to mention this earlier. I believe it was Turning Point that shared him, or maybe it was Candace, a clip of him thanking different people or different people that were going to be involved. And he mentions Erika, and it's like flat. But when he introduced or referred to Candace, the respect level, no wonder Erika cut her out. You remember in the airport, I think it was 2018, when Charlie and Candace went to Israel and Erika and her mother just happened to be in the airport. And she acts like, oh, I recognize this guy, but mom, and her mom is like, go talk. And she's like, no, you may have heard me say this before. I hate to be redundant, but I'm convinced the reason she didn't go over is because Candace was with him. Erika does not like women, other than, I think, really liking women. There are times in these interviews I've been watching where she is not just butch, but she is masculine, like heavy masculine. It's very bizarre. I don't think she's a man, but she made the jokes with that 15-year-old girl about she doesn't bat for the other team yet. And then on her Instagram, there's a picture of her hugging a woman saying, we're on the same team. And it might be a stretch to say that she was talking about sexuality, but may have been political party or whatever. But my God, hateful woman. She is just a hateful, hateful woman. And like I said, I think she was playing a role, which you can only do for so long. And it just, seriously, I have all these quotes, all these examples where she's speaking to women, literally saying, it's not about you. It's not about you. That's why people, meaning women, have depression and anxiety, is because you're too focused on yourself. This is why women have breakdowns. Not the only reason. But this expectation, especially in the church, and she was essentially a pastor's wife. That is a hard place to be. Okay. Oh, this was what I was going to say. These people, Aspen, he didn't say it. You guys are getting it, the scoop beforehand. Nobody remembers her being there. But the word was that nobody really saw her anyway. I think it's because she was depressed. I think she has manic depressive issues. Her mood swings are bipolar category, no doubt. And she is against medication. And I remember coming off the mission field. We were working in London, full-time evangelical ministers working with Muslim, Sikh, Hindu community, beautiful community. Not at all what I thought when they said, we want you to move to London. I was thinking sheep in the front yard, grass and stone fences. And it's like this, how would you refer to it, Doug? South Hall, like, I mean, it's like
New York neighborhood.
Yeah, like a New York, but not like cool New York.
No, lower.
Yeah, most people were on the dole, so to speak. They were like on welfare. We were some of the only white people. I mean, there were a few Irish. They were like gypsies, right? And
Travelers.
yeah, travelers. Where was I going with that? He wasn't even tapping, and I lost my train of thought. Alex, I'm glad you're here. Yes, we do lives, not as often. Not as often. But it's impossible to not look at things in life not through our own experiences. This is why you got to be really careful with some psychology. My mom's a psychologist. I respect it, but even them, they'll project a lot of stuff. And these 20 somethings getting their pop psychology off Instagram, and these, my God, I see these therapists. Tracy Martin does this. She says, if you're having problems with your kids, I hate to mention this because people are so opinionated on it, but for a blanket statement to be, it's always the parent's fault. No. But I've had people, I don't even mention this on, like, in writing on social media, because it's such a hotbed issue. Such just the trigger, because people cannot step back from that and look at it objectively at all. I keep my hairs feeling a little weird. But Charlie and Candace, the love and respect was just so evident. And it makes me sad when people try to sexualize it or say Candace was in love with him. And how sexist is that the woman was just obsessed with him. That just, no. But Erika undoubtedly is threatened by her. It would be very hard for any woman not to be. When the reality is, just how close they were. And we know that, they talked about faith issues, they talked about dreams, they talked about spiritual gifts. Just the few texts that were shared that I've seen that Candace has shared. And I never watched Candace before. I never watched her before. And I think that God, the universe, was somehow keeping me from watching her, because let me just say this. I have great respect for her now. I don't agree with everything, but there was a point I couldn't stand her voice. She hadn't offended me. I wasn't that aware of what she was talking about to be offended by her. She does a little bit of the sassy tone that I do as well. A little snarky maybe at times. So I get that. I get how off-putting that can be. If it's like, well, we know, and you're wrong. I try to do it with humor, but essentially I'm just saying the same thing. I really have to be present more about following my thought line. Doug, were you listening? No, you're into comments. Are you commenting to comments? Can you do that?
Oh, I'm delayed.
You're delayed. Why with the tone? Like I said, you're going to get real marriage. You're going to get real relationship here. Because here's the deal. Like, you can tell people now. I hate to. I don't want to spiritualize it. I was going to say you can tell people who believe. Again, this is Christianese. I hate doing it, and I don't even fully like believe this, because I believe it, but there's so much more. There's such a bigger picture to this, and my concern is when I talk this way, it like pigeonholes me, because my belief system is much broader than this. But you can tell Christians, or people who claim to be Christians, who actually believe the gospel or not, because they are willing to share their shit, because they know that grace runs deeper than it. And it's obnoxious that rhymed, but you're not afraid to share stuff. That you have to be discerning. That doesn't mean you put everything out there. Candace, my God, she has to be so guarded. But back to what I was saying, seriously, there was just a point where I couldn't even, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was just a few months before Charlie died. Somebody sent me a video of hers, and I was like building a relationship with this woman. So I wanted to relate and try to connect. And I tried to watch this video and I couldn't do it. I don't even remember what the subject was, but I emailed her. She's like ultra conservative. And I was like, I just can't. And then I was on the floor working with kids' scrapbooks or something, and something on YouTube rolled into it. Sorry, I got distracted by Sarah's lipstick comment. It's a great lipstick. I need to not look at comments. I will, but I couldn't do it. So I was working on scrapbooks, which I've been working on for a year and a half. Our living room has been a mess. And one YouTube video rolled into a Candace video, and I think it was the Blake Lively trial. You've heard me say this. And I thought, wow, she's doing some good investigative work. I didn't even jump into watching her regularly. Even now, it's hard because of doing this myself. And also, if I'm working on a subject, I don't want to be influenced by what anybody else says. So when I post my stuff, I have almost never watched anybody else's. So it's fun for me. It's affirming when I see things and ideas sync up, or when I pick out something random and they happen to pick up the same thing. But I was really impressed with her investigative stuff. Like I didn't follow the whole Macron, like wife being a man thing. I didn't follow any of that. I'm not shooting that down. I'm just saying I didn't follow any of that. And even after Charlie died, I would just kind of check in now and then like it started to get meaty. And then all my red flags were going off about Erika and the organization. And so I plugged in more, started posting about it just for my own thought process, and realized that other people needed to hear that they weren't crazy or bad people for having questions. Because the gaslighting, oh man, the gaslighting just messes. And I've dealt with that in religious circles and whatever. But yeah. So now, such respect. As a matter of fact, the first Instagram of mine that she liked, I like shot it and put it up there, and some people were like, if that impresses you. And I'm like, let me have a little bit of joy. Like in this season that we're in, a little bit of happy, a little bit of joy, a little bit of acknowledgement from somebody whose work I appreciate. A huge mistake we're making if we dismiss people because it's them. If we won't listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene, that really upset me. Couldn't like her shouting out at Biden and her white fuzzy collared, during the State of the Union address, and the things that she would say that just so divisive. But she helped get it moving on the files. Lauren Boebert, am I saying that right? Got called into the Situation Room, and she stood firm. I thought she was going to crack. Now, I don't know. Doug, could you check this out for me? She had been working for years on a clean Colorado water, like a water act. And they just needed the pipeline. They needed the last bit of money to finish this pipe system. And because Colorado didn't go for Trump, he shut it down. And it was bipartisan. And I started to think that is why she was able to hold firm without looking back. But now I'm not quite sure. Maybe it happened after. Maybe he shot it down after. I think he already shot it down. Deanna, I'm the same way. Deanna's saying, "Hey, one thing I can't wrap my head around is how normally critical thinking people see the lies of TPS USA and believe Candace is lying and literally choosing to believe the people gaslighting. It's because they're tired. We're all tired, but
Yes.
it takes energy to go, whoa, okay, my belief system has just been broken, and that's soul level kind of broken." Yeah, what were you saying?
Donald Trump vetoed the Finnish Arkansas Valley Conduit Act, a bipartisan water infrastructure bill championed by Lauren Boebert to bring clean water to rural Colorado.
But was it before?
Although the bill passed unanimously, Trump blocked it over taxpayer cost concern, sparking the accusations of political retaliation.
Yeah, but was that before or after she was brought into the Situation Room?
I don't know.
That's what I was asking. Okay, that's all right. Erika often seems to be crafting how she speaks and emotes. Yes, it's a psychotic trait. Like, how should a normal human act in this moment? Her tone issues are really bizarre. You don't see that a lot in women. Erika often seems to be crafting how she speaks and emotes, but truth doesn't need selling if you're genuine. Yeah, it doesn't even have to sound warm and sincere because facts are facts. Tracy, her only friend, keeps propagating this idea. I use that word all the time now. Keeps pushing this idea of how intelligent Erika is, and her degrees, when we know for a fact that she lied about her summa cum laude, her magna cum laude. She referred to herself. Which one was it? It might be inverted what I'm saying, but in regard to her Arizona State University, she referred to herself as summa cum laude, I think, and Baron, you can't find it on the program because it's shown, it's not a secret. But then when she did the Roscoe says hi, babe, doesn't say babe. Honey, I'm talking to you. Okay. We had a dog named Roscoe once. Doug said K. Forgot what I was saying. I do that all the time. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll get better about that. Is my mic on? Okay. One live, we didn't have it plugged in, and I just bummed me out. But yeah, she's pathological for sure. Absolutely. But when she was talking about joy to those pastors, consider it joy. Consider it joy. She's so pissed. And that's the video I'm working on right now, where she says, because every interview they ask her, and I put in clips of most of them, or at least a few of them, how did you forgive him? How did you do that? We're just all amazed. How could you do that? Well, because I can't let the devil have a foothold. I can't be angry. The enemy would love for me to be angry. And the audience claps. And it's like June. We've seen lots of anger. It's like, what are you doing? It's the closest I've come to feeling genuinely bad for her. In the sense of, you are embarrassing yourself. Like, I'm not saying that with cruelty. She's genuinely, to her core, embarrassing herself when she gets on a podcast and says, you can't hurt me. She'll say, like, game on. The Barry Weiss one, she said, game on. At this other one, good morning, Yoda. And I'm glad I could make you laugh. And yes, please like and subscribe. I have this daydream about getting to 100,000 by the end of June. That would be like a 40%. But you know, stranger things have happened. But please subscribe. But she uses this word. What is it? She says, she's talking to her pastor. She says the most unbiblical things. She literally, in this last interview, she said, if I get to heaven, God willing, Lord willing, if I go to heaven, London wasn't depressing. London wasn't depressing at all. But I want to stay on track a second. She said, if I get to heaven, you know, the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, he doesn't like F with you. Like the promises, if you just what the Bible says is, you know, Romans 3:23, for all have sinned. That's kind of freeing. We all got our stuff. We're all in the same boat. There's an obvious separation between God and us, or something. I also believe just innately there's a lot of God in us. So, but you know, I'm 57. My beliefs are still evolving. What I'm seeing is more just all these kind of different experiences, like coming together, going, oh, and it's so gray. It's not so black and white. It's gray. I liked the black and white because I'm like, just let me know where I stand. Just let me know, is this good or not? Am I being good or not? Am I okay in the eyes of God or not? Because I'm following the rules or not. But for her to say, to basically to show uncertainty in a theological sense, not just doubt, or if it was doubt, why? Whoa. You guys, because I put right after that clip, when she expresses doubt about going to heaven, I put Trump's clip where he's on Air Force One and says, oh, I'm not going to go to heaven. This is probably heaven. This is the best I'm going to get, which that's sad. And he said that because he knows. Wow. You guys, that's actually, I haven't arrived at the point of filming my quick little commentary on that, but that could be a consciousness of guilt thing, that she doesn't deserve heaven or doesn't believe that she does. There's something there. Hey, beef. Some beef just shared that on Mother's Day of 2005, you got clean. God changed my whole life. Yes. And so did you. You stepped up. Well done. Will you ever be on Baron Coleman's podcast? All right, guys, let's get organized. Did you see where he was talking about Victor Marx's daughter, and we can talk about Victor Marx. I saw somebody comment on that. They're all tied together. It's all tied together. The war, the presidency, all tied together. But so I sent in a super chat, and Baron was like, oh my God. And I wasn't even for sure if he would know who I was. And he said, thank you. I want my SPTV. Somebody, Oh, I'm sorry. He reacted like with this enthusiasm, like I recorded it because it, it was just the sweetest thing. Literally, I'm not kidding. I I'm not like so I've worked with some of the most known celebrities in the world, but I I still like am fangirling out that I'm not fangirling, that's not the right, but for Baron to be like, "Oh my god, we have a celebrity." I sat on the bed watching, I'm not kidding. My face was like this. Doug came in because I had told him I sent in a super chat, which I had never done before. I messed it up the first time. I'm like, "Oh, you have to type your message in first." Okay. So I sent another. And Doug came in and he was kind of waiting for the comment to come up with me. I was giving some good information, so it wasn't so much like, "Hey, look at me." But his reaction was just amazing. It was super cute. No, Doug's not giving me a side eye. He just stepped out, I think, because one of our sons is getting ready to walk in the door and the dogs are going to bark like crazy. But I'm telling you, for 2 or 3 minutes, I was just like, and I guess, when you watch somebody now I can't watch somebody will say, "Did you catch this on Barron's?" And 3 years, he'll go 3 or 4 hours. I'm like, "You're gonna have to, like, send me a clip. I can't catch the whole thing." Not seen you. Yes, new painting behind me, seaside, which it looks like a seaside. And this is actually one I did, oh god, maybe 2019, 2018, 2017. I don't remember if I did it in Tennessee before my daughter and I moved out here. But, yeah. The key to abstract art is knowing when to stop. That's the that's the key there. But, yes, I've posted I've put videos up and a couple shorts. I'm still just getting used to my eyes being back. For a week, there were probably 2, maybe 2.5 weeks over the course of like 3 months, like where for 5 days at a time, like my eyes were just gone. I finally couldn't wait any longer and I put on those sunglasses kind of and did that. T T2 or TZ words, yes. It's fun. It's such a great idea that YouTube has and puts it up there, and they do take a chunk of it, though. I'm not exactly sure how much, but that is why I encourage you guys to go to our thinkhappystuff.com. Shameless plug. There's items with Think Happy Stuff. The full logo says change your thinking, change your world. It's my handwriting. Oh, Doug has it going across the bottom. He's awesome. And a little flower doodle that my mom taught me from her mom. And it started in 2006 in Franklin, Tennessee. That's the thing. Baron and Candace live where I lived for 20 years. That area has changed so much. A house that we bought for $140,000 sold a few years ago for 1.2 million. Now we don't own anything. We've flipped a few houses in the past, but I don't want to own anything right now. I want the option to get up and go is what I want. All right, we'll look it up, but some people I know were making him sound like the second coming of Christ because he brought her son to the Lord and other things. I'm not sure who we're talking about. I think Charlie was told Erika would be good for his branding. I think Charlie just wanted to get laid. She is very sexual. She uses touch somebody said touch is her love language. When Megyn Kelly brought up the buzz that was going around about JD Vance's hug, and Erika was like, if you're criticizing a hug, then you just need a hug. And I was like, I don't think I thought what a bitch, but I thought this woman doesn't need to be leading anything, because you have got to be able to hear people. And she just shut it down. She's like, this is just the way, I am. Like, she wasn't bitchy about it in tone, but it was like, you've got a problem. And Megan, I've mentioned that before, like a mean schoolgirl. She'll just kind of play the, kind of the egging on to, you're so pretty. I like your hair. She actually brought up something about her hair, wanting it, saying that her hair person said that Erika did not have extensions. On Summer House, when she kind of goes to the side at this bar, this rooftop bar, and is talking to this guy, he mentions her nails and she goes, they're real. I thought, who cares? Like, that was just so weird to say. And then he's like, I bet you give, or, good back scratches or something. She just kind of laughed. So we're talking down to the wire. Erika, her persona, the way she dressed, down to the wire. Even after she met Charlie, she posted pictures. Sorry, I drank that. You guys know I drink ginger and lemon juice and water, and I think I put a little too much ginger in there. Bear with me, please. But she suppressed all that. And you saw, like, obviously you've seen the way she started to dress. And, and some of them, it's straight up none. Did you see in the podcast that she and Charlie did, I think the last one they did together, where she's asked, thank you, Roscoe, are your Think Happy pens ballpoint or gel? I think they're ballpoint, black ink, and crazy smooth. Like, they're awesome pens. In that podcast, they're taking questions, relationship questions, ironically, and somebody asks, like, advice, maybe preparing for marriage or whatever. And she said, the first thing she said without hesitation, get your blood work done every 6 months. That's for STDs. That's for STDs. Unless I'm missing something. Back in the day, like when Doug and I were getting married, that I don't remember talk. Oh. Welcome to my world, like 8 times a day. We need to have that dog guy come on. I don't know what you can do with small dogs, Pomeranians. But she said STDs, not STDs, but she said, get your blood work done every 6 months. And Charlie almost immediately came in and said, don't have sex before marriage. But she had been very sexually active. And maybe in these long-term relationships she was in, but with the guy with the amazing race, they said they'd spent almost every day for 5 months together. She was spending the night, but then in an article she said that they would call each other for prayer time at night. It's just always this presentation. It scared me too. The dogs barking like that, it scared me. It jumped. We have a good system about, honey, that picks up. It really, you can't hear it. Let me know if you can hear a fan in the background, please. But sorry, I got distracted. I don't know what I was talking about again.
Prayer time.
Is that the fifth time that's happened so far? But yeah, it's just this performative air, and you can't keep that up for that long. You will crash out. And the moment he's gone, she is out of the gate. She's out of the gate. By the time my youngest was 3 and could go to preschool or nursery school, because I've been at home for a while with kids, at one time 7 under the age of 11. Mark's is trying to get up, but the clothes are blocking him. My pile of clean clothes on the bed. Gosh, you guys. There's a place that I could maybe rent, but it's like when you decide to say, hey, let's do a live at 9 o'clock. I don't want to necessarily get in the car, and even if it's 5 minutes down the road, I don't want to do that. So I'm sorry. There's so much going on. That's why I keep losing my train of thought. Was that Ben? We're having lunch tomorrow. One of my sons and I'm sorry, I forgot what I was saying. We had a son, or we still have the son, but lived in Tennessee. Our firstborn son lived in Tennessee. We didn't see him like
once a year.
Maybe once a year. Yeah. And I would cry. He gives the best hugs. Oh my God, I could cry thinking about it. It's like whatever as a mom you like feel guilty about, or whatever, whatever the history, and we didn't, whatever. We were never estranged or anything, but this hug, just so much love. He gives the best hugs. But his girlfriend was working event planning, more than that, like music related, and she was kind of ready for a change and wanted to move to LA. And so out of the blue, he said, we're going to move out there. And I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? It was incredible. Like a dream. But it's LA. It's like an hour away. It's not horrible. I mean, my God, we would be plane, a plane flight before. I'm a little nervous about flying. Like, I definitely don't want to fly out of the country. Not that I had anything lined up. I was doing comedy on cruise ships, and I had a UK tour. I wouldn't leave the country right now comfortably, because I think I would get flagged. I don't know exactly how they're doing that, but whatever. So yeah, so the painting, the art you see behind me is, it's always mine. I want to get organized. Like, I do sell art, but I mean, it's a little pricey, but I thought about some of the smaller ones, although somebody in Canada bought one. I wish I could pull up the picture. It was a large one. And I love that it's in Canada. I have art pieces all over the world. I go through phases, like a pregnancy. Like, there comes a point where you have to give birth to the baby. And it's like that with art for me. We're not quite set up here. We don't quite have the space where I can make a mess like that. But I guess, can always figure that out. Throw a shower curtain down. I love your way of thinking. Love your hair. Thank you. And a fact, you love dogs. You are a real rare lady. Thank you. From Belgrade, Europe.
Belgium. Oh no, Belgrade.
It says Belgrade.
You're right.
Yeah. I love that. I have a large, whoa, my eyes looked funny. I have a large following out of Australia. That's cool. That's really cool. I have a kid in my kindergarten class who hugs with all the love he can throw at you. The sweetest kid ever. When I look, sorry, Luck Dragon, I was just looking. You said your son is a racist. I'm just so sorry. Come to the Bay Area. That would be awesome. But when I see pictures of the kids being so young and just that age where they're in the little snuggle fleece zip up with feet, and they just, oh, you can just, yeah, it's wild. They say that the most time you'll ever spend, like 80% ish. I don't remember exactly, but very high, like at least 80% of the time that you'll ever spend with your child is up to 18 years old. Up to 18 years old. I was speaking with my dentist. He did most of the talking, but he's Palestinian. What are they? Because they have family in both Israel and Palestine. But he was saying that if a kid like leaves the home before they get married, it's deeply offensive to that culture. And when we lived in Southall, London, like I said earlier, we worked with Muslim, Hindu, Sikhs. Like the family stayed together. These houses weren't huge by any means, but they, like, the families stayed close together. But he said, like, if a child moved out, like they turned 18 and went off to do their thing, it would be very culturally like offensive, like what happened and whatever. Here it's more like, what's wrong if your kid is still home? Now we live in Southern California and we have 2 adult sons with us. And, the cost of living out here and, with everything, the economy and gas, oh my gosh, what's going to happen with that? I feel good about us all staying together. Barron has lots of Aussie fans as well. Yay. Not the widow. Jumping in late. Love you, Christine. Love you too. Joined as a member and loving my merch. Oh, what did you get? Happy Father's Day, Doug. Excited to watch. I need Think Happy stuff tonight. Fan since Erika. Fan since first Erika Kirk video. Yeah. I did those for me. I wasn't monetized for a long time. I did somebody's podcast and he's like, "Do you put your shorts on YouTube?" Because I was just on Instagram and then started doing TikTok, and Instagram pays you through Meta if it's connected to Facebook. And when the first payment showed up, we're like, you can make money doing this. But I honestly, this was never financially driven. But then a few months ago, tariff related, Doug lost his job and we didn't have to freak out. We're not, now granted, it's great that our 2 sons are here because they split rent with us, but we didn't have to freak out. And so thank you for your support and your love, for your purchases from Think Happy stuff. I like the idea that you get something back. Oh, which reminds me, I still have some of the lipstick left. I was able to track some down because it's out of production. They don't make it anymore. And I found 4 of the same brand of mascaras. So the first 4 people, and I guess you're just gonna have to trust me on that. The first 4 people that buy a lipstick, I'll throw in a mascara as well. But the mugs are amazing. They're so great. Somebody called, somebody emailed and asked to replace a mug. It was a pastel color that we don't do anymore, but needed to replace a mug. We did those 16 years ago. We have people that reach out and they're heartbroken because a mug that they used, and these are the stories that we get, that saw them through their divorce, that they started using when their father died. Somebody back in the day when we were first testing the market at a mall, remember those in Tennessee, a mother came up and bought a t-shirt on the day she was burying her son. Ugh. We have scarves that are this cotton scarves. Boy, I forget about those, Doug, because they're like in a drawer or something. But those scarves are amazing. And a man sent me a picture of a purple scarf. At that time, we had like a patch on them. And he was wearing it, and it's what his wife wore through her chemotherapy. I can't get my head around that. Oh my God, this one. A woman sent me a picture of her father who was in hospice, ready to go anytime, but he was still awake. And he had a Think Happy Stuff magnet. Like we had these car magnets. Just, and, it was in front of him. He'd look at it. I can't. I need to. We all need to absorb moments where someone compliments you. Please learn how to just say thank you. Just say thank you. I wrote 2 messages, clearly not good at this, but great. But sure great. Love you. Sorry. I wrote 2 messages, clearly not good at this, but you are sure. SRE. What is SRE? Does that stand for something? Great. Love you. Boy, when I texted Baron, you only have so many characters. That drove me nuts. Such a game. Tell us how you came to adopt so many kids. I had rescuing issues and was over medicated. When I was 6 years old, I lived in Japan for a couple years. I went to a Catholic school. They took us to visit an orphanage. These girls were my age or a couple years older. And I remember going home and saying, Mom, could we help? And she had some grown-up answer as to why, we couldn't adopt. And I remember just kind of being like, also I think it's beautiful. I'm trying to be very cautious here. I love the organization. I haven't donated to them or anything, but that Candace promotes, where it provides ultrasounds for pregnant mothers. I will say this. I know this is. I just gotta learn to say things. The things that Candace says, and I'm like, wow, and I'm much older, and I still how's this going to come across? I have never met a woman who regretted having her child, even though it wasn't planned. I have known women who have regretted their abortions. There are justifiable reasons for them. Hearing about women dying in the parking lots in Georgia or whatever because they were refused treatments. Whatever. We don't need to go down that road. Thrilled to have you doing lives. Thank you. Your videos bring me so much happiness. Other than the topic was just Oh, so my point was, if I were to have certain views, I wanted to put, we wanted to put feet to our faith, to our viewpoint. It drives me nuts. And I was never one of these people, but these people who get online and they pontificate and they scream and they judge and they, the whole, pro-life to just a cruelty. It's ironic, pro-life, but I hate you. And um, and then I've engaged with that some years ago. I don't now, but are like, well, what have you done? Do you do foster care? Have you adopted? Do you support education for people? We give it to Israel. We don't have it here. Healthcare, we give it to Israel. We pay for it there. What, we don't have it here. We give them a monthly stipend for their children. We don't do that here. Are they trying to put children into the system that would have to be separated from their parents because, or from a single mom, because that makes the kid more available? All this trafficking stuff we're talking into. I had that thought yesterday. I had Candace on it. I think she was talking about something in Romania or whatever, and how vulnerable these foster care kids, these orphans are, and how wolves in sheep's clothing, create these organizations and use them as avenues, as tools to hurt these children. Same in the United States. So if you think you're a good, decent person, but you're bitching at everybody, a single mom who's horrified because she doesn't have family. Erika, in Megyn Kelly, she'll say these vicious things kind of under her breath. Like when she was at that church in California out here, and she said about the protesters, I think they're demonic. I think it's demonic. But she'll look down. I think it's demonic. It's like, bitch, you got something to say. Look up. Say what you got to say. But in her Megyn Kelly interview, she mumbled something like, Charlie believed the government shouldn't take care of your children. And I thought, what is that? Like, what is it, Doug? What do you think that would mean? Like for the government to take care of your children? Like food stamps? Maybe. Child care vouchers? We used those. We used after school programs. We used free lunches. We had 8 kids. We had adopted 4. We didn't have money, but it was like, God will provide, which is not the best financial plan, by the way. So we often had to rely upon the kindness of strangers. That was a horrible Scarlet accent impersonation. So when people are just viciously cruel, but are against the programs that would help more women, do you know who has a significant amount of abortions? Young Christian women who don't want to tell their parents. There's a school, what is it, David in Nashville, where a football player who was there on scholarship and a young woman broke the code of conduct for the school because they had premarital sex. And they decided to keep the baby, and they got kicked out of school because it showed that they broke the contract that they had signed. No drinking. I don't know what they do now, but how fucking disgusting is that? So why do you think these young Christian girls? I know another example of a young Christian girl who got kicked out of school because she got pregnant. Yeah. It's evil. Minus me. Are you the only male in the room? Do we have men in the house? Doug showed me some, hello, Houston, Texas, some stats, which I don't like numbers. He'll try to get me to look at them, but for some reason, like it causes me anxiety. I'm like, just tell me, please, that most of the people that join us here are like 40 and older and are women. And I thought, yes, I'm a woman's woman. I love that. I love that. Oh, I was talking earlier about insider information about the Aspen retreat. Oh, oh, I can't. I can't yet. I'm I've had 3 interviews on it and I want to wrap up. I want to do on Monday. It's one of those where I'll have to write it just for like legal reasons too. I need to look into that a little bit. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know that's kind of like teasing or whatever, but stay 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 with me. Doug just gave me a note that several are talking about recently losing fathers. Well, thanks. I had kind of blocked out the fact that mine died in 2018, and now y'all are gonna make me cry. I can make it about me pretty quick. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. That's losing a parent, regardless of the status of the relationship, is thanks for being here, Roy. It's soul level stuff. I'm so grateful that my father and I, there was nothing left unsaid. He was sober, close to 30 years sober. And he was really into talking about stuff and owning his shit. And there was nothing left unsaid. His last text to me was, I'm watching Ant-Man. I'm watching Ant-Man. Someday I'll work with Paul Rudd and tell him that. Charlie was extremely intelligent, but not street smart. Fact. Erika, street smart. There's a video of Andrew calling her shrewd. Erika is shrewd. And he also called her smart, but she's not book smart. So she can't get basic phrasing right. What did she say? I know she was worked up emotionally in the Barry Weiss interview, but she says, my husband was brilliant of a man. Now, maybe that's summa cum laude talk, and I just don't know. But not me screaming out excited in the middle of the theater when I saw Christine on screen. Awesome. Great job, lady. So happy for you. Also, love your Bible smarts. Yeah, I know my Bible, which surprises conservatives that come at me. I'm like, bitch, I will Bible your ass into the ground. Pardon my language, but it like throws them. And I love that. It's so kind of you to call Erika any type of smart. Now I'm putting the emphasis on any because I think that's what you're saying. I don't see anything behind those eyes. Have you zoomed in on those eyes? I swear I've seen them red and the slit stuff. Like I like what is this? What is this? Hello, the Garrison Project. I love those smiling face boxes. Thank you. You're super blessed. You are blessed. We are all blessed. Do you know what an amazing exercise is? Is that get a notebook. You have to write, not put it in your phone. You have to write. And the goal is to write 1,000 things that you are thankful for. There was a book based on this. I don't know why there was a book. It covered basically just what I said, covers it. 1,000 things, 1,000 things. It could be, I love the color red. I'm thankful for the color red. I'm not kidding. That. And then what you do, because you have this goal of 1,000 things, and it could take a few months, but it puts you in this mindset of looking for something good because you want to complete this task. It retrains your thinking to look for the good. That's good stuff. Count it all joy. 1,000 things. Yeah, 1,000 things. But write it. And there's also something about if you're stressed, if you're having a problem, if there's something you're upset about, write it down, because what it does is closes the circle, it releases it, because you don't even have to have a concrete answer. You've just released it, and it's not stuck in your head. It's not stuck in your head. There's also this exercise, and I don't know why this works, but it does, where there's something tragic or alarm. For me, it might be something that pops up on my Instagram feed, which I do not need to look at before I go to bed. And it just horrifies me. And what this man suggested, I don't know why this works, is that you imagine putting that thought in a box and kind of making that box smaller and smaller, and then putting it like up on a shelf or away somewhere. For if you're more spiritual, it could be putting it on an altar. Imagine putting it on an altar. But there is something about visualizing putting it in a box that, yeah, crazy. She's dumb smart. I don't like calling people dumb. I like, even now I'm like kind of used to it, I guess, with her. And actually, it's probably their best alibi in fighting some of the larger conspiracy theory, because an agent, really, they're dumb. The mistakes they make are stupid, are just stupid. Was Erika married prior to Charlie? I don't know. I mean, biblically, if you go by that, she knew men. I'm being facetious, but she had married level relationships. And it just occurred to me, this is why when she gives advice, she says, don't treat your boyfriend like your husband. She's saying, don't have sex with your boyfriend. I wish she would just say things like that. Don't treat your boyfriend like your husband. Don't treat your boyfriend like your fiance. Don't treat your fiance like your husband, or something like that. I think they're talking physical stuff. I wish they would just get to it. Victor Marks retooling. I went through something like that at a church. So it was a good church. It wasn't what pastor. There were some women in the church that were very charismatic. What would you call it, Doug? Like at Christ Community, like Martha and Nina. They were very like the speaking in tongues and getting slain in the spirit, like those radical prayers that you see where the pastor would put their hand on your head and you see people fall down. And not as extreme as the woman who's Trump's spiritual advisor, who literally says, I won't put blessings on you guys until $50,000 comes in. Crazy. But one of them did this thing with me, and it was basically like a purge. Like, you share every horrible thing that you can remember, and they write it down. You don't burn the paper or anything. I don't think she took it, but reportedly, like Scientology does stuff like that, and then they use it against people. But it can be very emotionally manipulative. And apparently the man, Corby Hall, who was on Candace's podcast, who has some pretty serious issues of his own, um, said it felt like a bit manipulative. He did such a good job articulating like how it's not an exorcism. What, honey?
When Victor Marx did that with him.
Yes, when I'm sorry, what did I say?
He didn't say.
I did say, yeah, when Victor Marx did that to him. And he also said that Victor didn't fully know what he was doing and was kind of deferring to his wife, like, what do I do? It's interesting. Some of the women behind behind these men. I am sickened by what Erika Kirk is, what is it called, lowering the glass ceiling or raising the glass ceiling, the one that like makes it harder for women in the business world, raising the glass ceiling. She is the stereotypical example of what some men would use about why women shouldn't be political leaders or
teach the Bible.
Or teach the Bible. Yeah. And I can't believe these pastors, you know what I think it is? They want to be on the Turning Point circuit because they could get tens of thousands of dollars. I don't know why. I guess if they're bringing people into a conference and, you know, they're charging for the conference. I don't know. Erika Kirk, literally the worst speaker I've ever seen. The worst, her tone, you know, the young women are all worked up, they're cheering there, and then she comes out and she's like this. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. Victor Marx is dangerous. He, and his wife Eileen, more dangerous. His daughter agreed to an interview with me and then ghosted me, because I did several posts about him, and she showed up because I interviewed a woman who and I'm blanking on her name right now. Not Bella. It'll come to me, I think. Who did her hair at this salon pop-up event and spilled her guts, told her everything publicly. And she had been sharing things online. She was very outspoken. Her brother had written the letter to the board. 100% legit, 100% legit. And then Victor Marx, malignant narcissist, paid her off. She said, I didn't get $1 from my dad. I don't even have to say allegedly. It's in the Colorado donors information, you know, just over, it was like $15,040 or something. She got more than $1 from her dad. And I interacted with her some on the thread because she was pushing back on the woman, like that she didn't know anything about her. And this is what kills me, is that she basically says it was my fault. It's textbook abusey, especially a daughter. There are reasons to be estranged from family and even our parents at times, but it's still a soul tie. And she did that for a while. She talked about how messed up her family was, how non-supportive they were. Her uncle, Victor's brother or half-brother, there's a text that he sent Victor saying, if you lay a hand on her, you know, I'll get the lawyers. It's no secret. And this woman who wasn't just, you know, woman off the street. I wish I could list her credentials right now, but military connected, working with sex trafficking victims. So I asked her, and several other credentials, like a master's in something. I said, was there anything about her energy like she was lying? And she said, no, absolutely not. But what a narcissist will do when they want something, in this case, he wants to be governor, they will make it right. They will do whatever they have to do to make it right. And then you've got kids who don't want to be estranged. So I guarantee he's on his best behavior. But if he loses, they need to run. They need to get out of there. because all hell's going to break loose. Yeah. Oh, that's great, Ms. Lady. She said, as a hairdresser, I understand the touch head, open mouth situation. You can definitely believe that Victor is just as evil. You can see it. It's crazy. You used to live in Evansville. That's my hometown. Just Stan B. What part? East side or west side? East side or west side? We moved from Japan to Germany to the west side, which communities were based about like around what Catholic church you went to. It was like German Catholic. I went from like an international school to, small classes where maybe a few of them would be related, and it was very hard. It was very, very hard. Yes, narc collapse is very real. It's textbook. And what I was saying was that all the things she was saying publicly, it was like, I don't know if maybe she did flat out say it's my fault, but Doug, could you please hand me one of those water bottles? The ginger is not working. Thank you so much. Excuse me, you guys. Like I was rebellious. She was saying I was going through a phase. I mean, just the whole battered wife. I abused it, and battered husband. That happens too. I deserved it. I did this. It's really sad. It's really heartbreaking. User.
Your Evansville guy said east side.
East side. Okay. I didn't want to say this before I knew you were east side. We should have gone east side. We should have gone east side. East side had a little bit of a broader, no disrespect if any west side people, but east side had a little bit of a broader world view. But live downtown now. My mom, for a season, had a house. It was 500 Southeast First Street. If you tell me you're living there right now, I will lose it. 500 Southeast First Street. You guys, we're talking one of these houses. Yeah, I'm a scrapbooker. How would you describe this house? Like haunted. It wasn't haunted. Did you sense it was haunted? I mean, totally. I did.
Yeah.
What did I tell you a story?
You said that was where the gate was at the top of the stairs or something.
Oh yeah, there was this big iron gate across the top of the steps. So it's this brick house.
It's like a 1930s.
1930s square brick. It didn't take up a block. That would be ridiculous to say.
It was on a corner.
It was on a corner. Beautiful little garden in the back. But significantly large. And I wouldn't know square footage or anything, but like inlay wood floors that, with a different wood inlay around the edges. The ceilings were 12 feet. So the staircase was probably 6 feet wide and, wood railing banister. And you go up and there's like a landing with a bench across. And my mom's not wealthy or anything. And this is the housing market was more doable. Yes, brain sandwich. I never. Okay, so somebody mentioned brain sandwich. There was this thing, the fall festival in Evansville, Indiana. And every year they sold cow brain sandwiches. I'm borderline vegetarian right now. So that's what I get like for watching, which is good, I think. But, these animal videos and cows that follow the kids home from school, whatever. Yeah, I love old houses too. Oh my God. Oh, it's big stained glass window. So when you got to the top of the steps and there was this landing that was probably like, maybe like 5 by 12, this landing or something, and then stained glass windows across the back. And then the staircase turned, and this older man lived there by himself, and he got nervous at night. And so he had this iron gate that, floor to ceiling. Did they take it out? Yeah. And they'd lock, he would lock it at night to feel more safe. Such a freaking just gorgeous place. We've moved around a lot. Doug and I, when we got married, we moved. This is the most random podcast. When we got married, we moved to Nashville, Hermitage, technically, and then we moved to Franklin, Tennessee, because I was helping start a youth program there. We were starting a youth program there. I was on staff. As a woman, they paid me $500 a month. When I left, they hired a man and paid him well. And I started the program, like 30 kids to a couple hundred kids, created a summer camp, whatever. I didn't have a wiener. Can I say wiener? What?
He hired his wife first.
Sharon.
Yeah.
Sharon and then him.
But they did pay her more.
But they paid her more. You kind of busted my bubble there. But he's right. They hired a woman, paid her more, because they realized what they'd have to pay somebody to replace me. Know your value. Know your value. If you think you're worth more money, tell them. You're not going to get it unless you ask for them. Ivana Trump has a story. She was best friends with Ghislaine Maxwell, so I have 0 F's to give that she's buried in a golf course with weeds. Oh, allegedly, Doug said. Where else would she be? Oh, they wanted her gone. I mean, she was supposed to testify in New York about the tax stuff. They wanted her gone. Not they. He wanted her gone. And that's actually the time frame, from what I understand, that Ivanka, you didn't see her so much. You're going to have to look this up. It's true, but you're going to have to look it up. Where was I going? Where was I going with that? So tell, if you want, so she was saying that she would give the kids chores and pay them a couple bucks an hour. And then Don came and said, Mom, I think, I should get more like $10 or something. And she said, okay. And he said, why didn't you do this before? And she said, you didn't ask. I mean, why would a business person pay you more if you're not asking for it? I call it the pants club. But women wear pants. How's that work? Theo says, Wiener. You're late. All right. So this is what we've covered. You'll have to. Did everybody get notifications? Some people were saying they didn't get.
They're liars. They got them if they're subscribed to your channel.
They're liars. Doug took that personally. I was like, did everybody get notifications? He's like, I'm like, honey, I wasn't attacking you. Who hurt you?
I only have one job.
One job. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here. Ghislaine Maxwell is still working the Reddit algorithm. What do you mean, Charlie's Angels? What should I call you? Charlie? I just want to call you Charlie. Do we think Epstein's alive? His body didn't leave, that's for sure. That's in the files. They knew how much work you were doing. I braved up once, age 26, and I'm trying to read this without my glasses. My boss told me the past work I've done. Oh, comments are flying. I missed it. Is there a way to pull it back? Teach me the things. So you know how somebody just commented, people laughed about Trump getting into politics. They were talking about Erika Kirk becoming president someday. Do you know Charlie, I have this video, was very adamant. He did not want to become president. That surprised me. But he was very sincere. And someone said, well, Trump said the same thing. And now Charlie had integrity. That's why I believe they really had children, because Charlie talked about him. I don't think Charlie was a con man about his kids. If you think they really didn't have kids, you got to think this through. If you're saying you think they really did not ever have children and you still had some respect for Charlie, forget it. You don't respect him. You don't. I mean, if you believe a man would lie about his children, them existing, then just throw all of it out the window. That's why I think Barron said they're destroying Charlie's legacy because they're basically calling him a liar and a hypocrite. He never. I know. The people that went to this Aspen retreat, there were only like 20 invites, and I have the emails of this business, that went, and huge donor. What are we doing?
Just keep talking.
Just keep talking. Just keep talking. I lost it.
Aspen.
And the highly exclusive. Nobody, I asked if they had video of him talking because you would think get out the phone. No, people don't pull out their phones. Did you know that these people like go visit Mar-a-Lago? They spent probably like 20 hours a year just one-on-one with Charlie. They were very connected with Charlie directly. And 20 people go, maybe a spouse, very small. These hotel rooms were like $8,000 a night for 4 nights. And Turning Point pays for that. How would you feel being a $5 or $10 a month donor, knowing that you are paying for these wealthy people to get free hotel rooms at this, I don't even think 5-star, I think infinity star. I don't know what you would call that, because those aren't the kind of hotels that I go to. I haven't been in a hotel forever, but and knowing that your money went, they had to fly themselves there, but your money is going toward paying for that. I don't, the private planes, I don't know how people give money to these people. I don't know how they do it. Don't know how they do it. Oh, good night, chat. Still listening, but I can't keep my eyes open anymore. Go to sleep, Elizabeth Hurley. Good night, Elizabeth Hurley. 2829. Sweet dreams. I should do that Cameo thing, that it's that Cameo app where, for 40, $50 or whatever, you send personal messages, and I could just tell nighttime stories. Nonprofit is the biggest scam, not necessarily. But you need to do a deep dive before investing in something like that or volunteering for something like that. Like this organization, this business has a foundation. I can't say because they need to stay under the cover. And if I say, but they do some really incredible tangent things for people. Yeah, Erika's jet. I want to go home. I just want to go home. I'm not a mean-spirited person. I am not. But get your shit together, lady. Get it together. Man up, for lack of a better. I don't like that word, because right now we need more women stepping up. We need women in politics. We need women, just not her. She's a horrible example. Horrible example. Basically slept her way into the position. I think she had great financial insecurity as a child and with her mom. And she says that in Megyn Kelly. She says, with what I went through as a child, that prepared me for this. What I went through. Not my childhood experience, what I went through. And she said something another time of excuse me, to the effect of, not that's when my mom and I reconnected, but I believe it was the pageant stuff that I don't want to say brought them together again, but that it was bonding, which indicated that they weren't bonded before. So I do think there's a lot of dark things in her childhood. She said she was always the last to be picked up from, what was it, the Boys and Girls Club. Even getting your hair cut forcibly in a bowl cut, which, that can be very traumatic for a child. Yeah, she slept her way there. And I hate to, I don't want to do the slut shaming thing. For the record, Melania Trump, anything she did willingly, the naked pictures, the sleeping with whoever, if it was her own free accord, like when I post on her, inevitably people will just use the words, and I always hide those comments. You know, if that's what she felt she needed to do to get out of the country, I'm not saying she did. It's her choice. But maybe she was trafficked, a whole different thing. I don't know. Pageant world is creepy. And 6 months ago, I was like, this is why they have the little girls dress up like women and the makeup like women. I was like, holy hell. Light bulb moment. That's why she's so sad. Erika was doing a mysterious countdown to yes, she was. She had this countdown on Instagram. It's still up there, I think. Like 10 more days. September 16th started September 10th. 16th is the day of the leaked video call, the day she talked to her employees about the organization. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Christine, we feel like you, and what you're doing right now is stepping up for us. Thank you. Have you guys seen her? Christine, you're so awesome. You're so great. He was gone 300 days a year. Yes, he was gone all the time. All the time. And she was a gypsy. Okay, I was going to say this. The person at this organization knows for a fact, I thought, did Erika, was she really a stay-at-home mom? Because you hear people push back on this. She'll say, I was a stay-at mom. I did it for 3 years. I was in it for 3 years. Always past tense. Like, I'm done. But then people will comment and say, she was never a stay-at-home mom. She traveled and she did some. And she spoke. She was involved. But this person said, no. She did some of those things, yeah, but she was absolutely a stay-at-home mom. Like, that was her job. Keeper of the home. The enemy wants your territory. She has like 6 sticks. The enemy wants your territory. Entrepreneur. That whole entrepreneur thing, that pisses me off. It is a lie. Her and Tracy Martin in cahoots, destroying women who think they're not enough or that they're bad because they are working or they didn't create a business that somebody else could run. It wasn't created. It wasn't done. It didn't start selling stuff till after, she was married. 5 items, and she wasn't living off. Erika Kirk had no business, no running, working business that she lived off of, as far as I know. Allegedly. I need, like, what Barron has, a sign in the back that says allegedly. Is that for legal purposes, you think? Yeah. It's a lie. It's a blatant lie. You guys, let people know that. That word, that needs to be on blast. How many times? Well, she's asked about being a stay-at-home mom. Well, before Charlie, I had my own business. Who cares? Who cares? Why are you contradicting everything you said before? Who cares? She is so judgmental. She is hateful. And Charlie said in that podcast where they were answering relationship questions, Erika's more conservative than I. I don't know that he meant politically, other than maybe she was just more racist, more, the government shouldn't give people anything. Okay, this is what I was going to say earlier. I lost track of this. So in the interview with Megyn Kelly, she says, Charlie said the government shouldn't raise your children. Well, not everybody has a team, sweetheart. Not everybody has a team or a village. You fucking asshole. Excuse me. That's a first. Shut up. Shut up. Not everybody has a team. Some people are estranged. They have to do their own thing. Maybe they get kicked out because they're pregnant and they want to keep the baby, but they have nothing and they need help. But you're fine with all the freaking money we send to Israel, but not helping here. Do you just feel better if you hate people? Does it make you feel better? There is this, I don't know what happened to the church, to Christianity, but these people who follow Erika Kirk, and I know it's not everybody, but these people who follow, who cheer when she, just seethes at people, when she does I mean what I say, and I forgive him, and I mean what I say, and I have nothing to say to him. Because God's judgment, God is just. She says God is filled with justice. No, God's not filled with anything. He either is or isn't. God doesn't fill himself with anything. Oh my God. I want to know why they are, or why she and the children are in a condo and not the multi-million-dollar house. Why did he sell the house? Why did he sell the house? If Charlie never met Erika, I believe he would still be alive today. We don't know. We don't know. I think universally speaking, that's not the right word. We were going to come to this point with this war over 4 decades. How long? He's been saying. Bibi's been saying 2 weeks. They're 2 weeks from having a nuclear weapon. You realize, like, we've gotten nothing out of this. We've lost. We have lost. Oh, there's this video I wanted to show. You can look it up. Of Trump walking in at the G7. They're all gathering. Dead quiet. Dead quiet. Zelensky walks in, erupts in applause. He's 80 freaking years old, and he is barely hanging on. I'm talking, I've thought about what I need to prepare some kind of response. You know how news agencies, somebody dies and they've got it ready to go? I think I need to think ahead, because I'll be so just like stunned. Some people are like this celebratory spirit, and I don't. That's not my spirit. But the people that are locked and loaded, ready to go after people that are celebrating, I'm like, did you laugh at the ape post of the Obamas when Trump showed them as apes? Did you think that was funny? Did you think it was funny when Joe Biden got cancer? Did you think it was funny when that wrestler or what UFC said Michelle Obama is a man after, like, so we got to keep ourselves in check. Trump's such a liar. Well, do we lie? Do I lie? Do I white lie? I'm actually pretty legalistic about the truth, and that's going to be, that might come back and bite me. I don't know why, but apparently that's like adult child of an alcoholic thing. You're either a brilliant liar or you're very like you cling like to the truth. And if someone violates that, you. But Erika, somebody mentioned this earlier. Erika, oh, so many lies, just lies and lies. You know the book one. You know Charlie's on Megyn Kelly August 6th says, I'm working on the book. I am working on the Shabbat Shalom book. I'm learning Hebrew. I'm working on it August 6th. With Megyn Kelly, Erika says the book was done June or July. But I've caught on to what she does when she lies. One of the things is she'll go, uh-huh, uh-huh. The other thing, this is another video I'm working on. Do you guys know? You may already know this. Maybe I'm late to this party. On Jesse Waters, she says, he died instantly. He blinked and he was with the Lord. And he probably was raptured and wondered where everybody was. And Jesse's like, they edited the hell out of that video. And the sound, it was like crinkly paper going the whole time. And she never stopped. It just bugged me. But she said he died on the scene. Nobody, look up Frank Turek, look up everybody else. Nobody says that. As a matter of fact, J.D. Vance said that they were hopeful because they were in direct contact with the hospital and they got a pulse. Frank Turek acknowledges a pulse at the hospital. So why would she lie about that? Why would she lie about him dying instantly? I don't know. Why would she die? Is it just a better story? This is the first time I asked myself, is she a pathological liar in the sense where she can't stop? Did they lie to her? Because she said, at least he didn't suffer. Did they think she's so fragile, we need to tell her that he died on the scene because we don't want to upset her? J.D. Vance says they got word he'd been shot. They were in touch with the hospital. There was a heartbeat. Frank Turek said the surgeon came out, said he had a heartbeat. 30 minutes later, gone. Granted, Frank Turek is a pathological liar as well. Man, the first time I saw him, I'm like, what the hell? There are a few of these guys. Rob McCoy, Frank Turek, who are just out for, like I mentioned before, like they want the stay in the speaking circuit for pastors. I don't know if Frank's on that or whatever, but they're just kissing ass. Like they're really just kissing up to her. And what Candace said recently, that Erika not only didn't like Israel, she didn't like these pastor people. They didn't know her. Frank Turek said the first conversation he ever had with her was at the hospital. He said Charlie was like a son to him, his fourth son. But he didn't know her at all, other than a hi, like in passing. I mean, Charlie's super busy. Doug pointed out that he has a pastor friend he's met with 5 times, and I haven't met him, and he hasn't been introduced to his wife. Brian Harple says more. Brian said, it's so funny, I'm just first names. Brian was on the Paramount Tactical. Boy, there was a weird energy there, but said that they did not do CPR, like Frank said. But you know what? I re-listened to that, and Frank did say they tried to stop the bleeding. He mentioned CPR, but Brian said they didn't do CPR. The contradictions are just everywhere. So it's what? Yeah, it wasn't a gunshot, honey. Wasn't a gunshot. I love how mainstream has picked up on Butler. What?
So whenever he's bleeding, you don't do CPR if there's an open bleeding wound.
Okay. You're right. Yes, you don't do CPR
Whoever
because
said they did CPR is dumb.
Frank did. Yes. A few months ago, actually, when I started doing this full time, Doug, I walked out and he was like watching a podcast, and I was like, "What the hell?" There's a CIA guy that you're into. I keep forgetting his name. What is it?
John Kiriakou.
John Kiriakou. Yeah. Oh, the women who make boom booms get a lot of money out of this. I don't know what we're talking about, Ann Teller. But you guys are chatting with each other. This is a great community. We don't, every now and then somebody comes in that's dodgy. I hear about it later because I miss those. But on Instagram, on unless like they're deleting it. Doug, you don't delete negative, like we don't get it. Like we don't get negative stuff. Very, I mean, it's really wild. Um, please subscribe if you haven't. Please subscribe and hit like and whatever else you do. Frank has had several stories. Yes, he has contradicted himself. And lately, the whole thing about the cop wanted the necklace, for evidence. Erika driving with the car holding out the necklace, doing the most fake whatever, the totally fake. I hate saying that. But you're not crazy. It's absurd what they're doing. You're not crazy. You're not stupid. You're not demonic. These people, man, they're getting paid. They're getting paid to try to make you feel like you are. With Crystal, hello. I appreciate your work, and I'm going to work on that story of information that you had about a video that they put out before this one. Figure out Butler, you'll figure out. Oh yeah, I mean we know that. I'm gonna Miriam Adelson. What is it? Found out that she found out that Trump basically said I'm gonna take your $500 million so you can do what you want with the West Bank, but then I'll F her over. And then the Butler thing happened, and he was waffling. Remember, he wouldn't go to war. I heard a CIA guy talk about this. It's an interesting theory that, well, and we know the guy who died at Butler was connected to the explosive stuff, but I haven't fully comprehended that whole story yet. But so the CIA guy said Butler was the warning shot. Trump still wasn't totally in line, complicit. They weren't going to take out one of his children. So Charlie was the next thing. And I mean, as close as they were going to get. And they did it in broad daylight because they can get away with it. And that it's just interesting. Diane, you're a new member. Thank you. Thank you. We're neighbors. Sassafras. Where in LA are you? I saw Jimmy Dory. Oh, yeah. I need to get on a show. Okay. I started to do this. You guys, Baron Coleman, he said in a podcast he wants to connect with me. We all get very busy. Bays is somebody I want to connect with to get on here again. And we've had scheduling stuff. My eye infected. Please comment in Baron's whatever, his next whatever. And, you need to get Christine on. I'm not at a point where I can contact him directly. I love that he and Candace live in my hometown. Yeah, I'm glad you saw that. It was really cool. Thank you for saying I'm cute. Our governor or whatever, John Fetterman, whoa. He was gifted a pager. Yeah, and so was Trump. That is disgusting. You know, the pagers that Israel used to maim and kill Palestinians. And yes, Lionel and I have did a podcast together. We actually were doing a live when Erika, when the shooting happened at the correspondence dinner, and Lionel kept giving me he was like, Erika, they're rushing Erika out. They're rushing Erika out. You gotta look up this little thing I did, because he's like, Christine, because I was just sitting back, just taking it in. And like, that was evidence. I don't jump on her misery. Like, I don't. I was really taking it in. And then he was waiting for a response, and it just hit me. I was like, is she going to make this whole thing about her? But I played the Eminem, the dun 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 dun. What I don't even know how to do that right now. The you get one shot, because it was like my one shot to like make a joke about it, whatever. Lionel is wild. Lionel is wild. He's really fun. I'm glad you watched us, Kim. Thank you. I want to reconnect. I did like a 4-hour thing with Coach. That was fun. Australia, you guys are awesome. Greece, I've been to Greece. When we lived overseas, my parents very much wanted us to experience Europe. We didn't have a lot of money or anything, but when you're in Europe, you can get to Paris from London for like $50 or whatever. Loved when you were on with Lionel. Yes, I said, let me be the bad cop, because he said, we should give her a break because, the trauma of the gunshot, Charlie. And I'm like, she wasn't there and she won't watch the video. I said, let me be bad cop. I was being a bit sassy. Erika never mentions her son, only her daughter. That tells me she sees Charlie in her son. That's interesting. And she has resentment and hate toward Charlie. Her hands are sweaty. I just want to go home. Would love to see you with Jimmy. You know what? Please message Jimmy. Please do it. That would be fun. I'm glad you saw me with Coach. Need a shirt that says "Let me be a bad cop." Yeah, I hear you. Coach, you said Chris has to go. Coach said, who's Chris? He was so funny. I don't know if you caught it, but he messaged me. He sent a voicemail through Instagram, and he said, I would like to get a quote from you on Erika Kirk, but you can't cuss. I was cussing a lot more back in the day. And then I realized with this niche I've fallen in with Candace and Barron, and they don't cuss. And I was like, do you think I can't control that? I can control that. Yes, I can. I don't cuss like a lot at home. If I do, actually it's a sign of intelligence. I read that once, and then I read something that contradicted that. I chose to believe the first one. You know what? I think we have an intelligent following. I think that's why we attract good people here. Doesn't Barron say that too? Candace, yeah, I would love to be on. I wanted to interview Candace. Oh, I so wanted to interview Candace. Candace, I want to interview you. I tell you, I'm not too proud. I'm getting tired. Like, this is a great chair too, but and I want to finish editing those videos for you guys, but I'm not too proud to just say, please comment on their stuff, and they can reach me. I can't reach them. High IQ, yes. High IQ. Boy, there's this Paramount Tactical, just some other people whose names I don't really want to, promote them at all. there's this like rah, 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 going at each other. It's so funny. One of them called me a liar. I showed her receipts and then she blocked me. And then somebody else in his podcast attacked somebody for not showing evidence and diverting. And I messaged, and it was Graham Allen. I can say that. And I commented it, and I was like, Graham, I so don't want to get into it. I know Tracy put you in an awkward position when she was on your podcast because she was claiming she had evidence that Erika was with her mother. All she was doing was regurgitating what Erika told her. That's all she was doing. And then she'd be like, I have lived experience with Erika for 15 years. Bitch, you're just believing everything she's saying. That's not evidence. You've just, what is that? It's not evidence. I was like, she blocked me too. I don't know why. Like, she commented once on a TikTok, but it was just somebody asked where Erika's interaction with Caroline Levitt was, what that was, and she answered what school it was, but she didn't sass me or anything. Sass me. These people, I just don't get it. But we need to remember this, okay? How long have we been on? We should probably wrap it up.
2 hours, 16 minutes, and 9 seconds.
Okay. We only believe what we believe and process the way we process because of our life experience. We didn't choose the parents we were born to. We didn't choose where we were born. For our developmental years, we probably didn't choose where we lived or what schools we went to. Most people don't wake up or come into the world thinking, they want to be destructive or evil or, everybody in their core being wants community, wants to feel loved, wants to feel respected, wants to feel safe. We all feel threatened for different reasons by different things. So I know that I need to take a beat. I'm not combative in comments anymore. Typically. That was Doug. But for me, I got in this Erika turning point, because they're barking, because usually our son will text, I'm about to walk in, so it warns us with the dogs. Doug just texted me, and so they're like, the dogs are on guard. Thanks, Doug. Shit, I was saying something. So many distractions. Welcome to my world. Damn it, people. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? This is a test. When I do this, it is a test. Our life experience. I don't comment, so much in the, like, I don't do the combative stuff anymore. Oh, I worked with kids. I worked with high school kids. I adopted. Erika was doing this Romania stuff. I don't have a firm conviction about what's going on with that. What I know is she's lying. She's manipulating. She's using cult-like language. Cult-like language when she addresses these crowds, mostly young people. She is propagating, hypocrisy is a problem for me across the board, but especially in the church. as a woman who worked in the church and in evangelical circles for so long, the systematic oppression of women. I think men are so competitive that if they can just take out half the population by making them feel less than, and that it was God's plan, that, apparently this leadership conference for the women was them being told they can't be leaders. That it's not biblical for them to be leaders. So I believe, like, I was prepared for such a time as this, that all the life experience that I've had, even the hard stuff, narcissistic abuse that I survived. You guys, the fact that I'm alive, I'll share more. I'll do a members. You know what I'll do? I will do a members and really share more about my story, because it's a miracle that I'm alive. But I'm not ready to just put that on blast publicly. And I'm not trying to manipulate anybody into becoming a member. I'm just saying that for my own safety, security, emotionally, this is where I am. I will do it in that environment. Doug and I were married for, I'm so bad at this. I have empathy with Erika about this, about getting dates wrong and stuff. We were married for like almost 19 years, divorced for 11. That's crazy. It doesn't seem like that long. And we both quit drinking, got remarried during COVID. Doug moved out. We were still kind of getting our bearings with what we were going to do. COVID locked everything down. COVID was a game changer for a lot of people. Stopped, a forced stop. It was hard for me because I was like rolling in comedy. Just, my comedy stuff was just going, and then it was just stop. And, with comedy, you get applauded just for showing up. You don't even have to be good. They don't even know if you're going to be good or not. But the next, please welcome Christine Feckety. They applaud. They don't get that back. So, even Doug was willing to applaud now and then when I walked into the room, but it didn't quite have the same effect. A lot of people that had quit drinking previously to COVID started drinking again. Doug and I decided a global pandemic would be the perfect time to quit drinking, the first time in our nation's history. Our government declared liquor stores to be essential businesses. If you've heard me say that before, it sounds a little canned because I say it in my shows. I started comedy when I was 50 years old. And I think this young guy was like, "Are you concerned, like, starting younger? You're fifth. I mean, not starting younger. You're competing with these younger." I'm like, I'm not competing with anybody. They either like me or they don't. Nobody has my story. I talk about having 8 kids. I just share my story. So there's only one you, baby. So we need to be a little careful with our judgment and condemnation with, peer counterparts, because we don't know what their life experiences. They were born into whatever. People don't innately wake up and go, I want to be an asshole today and work against everything America should stand for. But for me, who's been in leadership, who has started ministries, who was in a cult kind of environment in college, who understands the misogyny and systematic oppression of women in the church, blah, 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 blah. I see it and I can read her. And not that I'm 100% all the time. And I will admit, I don't have a problem saying I made a mistake about something. But I won't. This isn't a time for me to be quiet. I was prepared for such a time as this, when I see on X, which is interesting. I've just ventured into that world. People just, because they don't want to think, it hurts to think. I'm going to wrap up here. Anybody who isn't pro Erika is just immediately candy, like part of a candy cult. Like, I'm a 57-year-old woman with plenty of life experience. We have free thought, but then they don't have to think about it. They don't have to think about it. You understand, the people that oppose Candace, all they got to do is convince people she's a crazy lady. They don't say crazy black lady, but there's a racism aspect tapped into that. Even if Candace would push back on that, I've heard her, I guess I've picked up a little bit that racism shouldn't be an excuse for whatever. But as a woman who, that was my dog, as a woman who raised 2 black sons in the South, I can tell you systematic oppression is a real thing. So, yeah, I mean, our president tweeted out a former president as an ape. There's something going on there. All right, you guys. Thank you for being here. Yes, Charlie said we are allowed to use our brain. Some of these videos, these clips I've seen about him, Charlie was personable. He cared about people. Listen, I didn't agree with most of what he said. I couldn't articulate most of what he said. So the videos I see, I'm like, But he was sincere. He had integrity. He stuck by his friends, even if he didn't agree with them. So this whole idea that, well, Candace wasn't invited to the wedding. Yeah. Have you met Erika? She was threatened. She is threatened by Candace because she's everything she's not. Jimmy's great. You know what? I followed him because Jimmy and I did a show together years ago at Burbank, at Flappers in Burbank. And I followed him. And then somewhere in the course of something, he said something I didn't like. I don't even know what it was. And I unfollowed him on Instagram. I don't know why.
There's a debate if he's good or not. And one of the things is he does jump on. It seems like he's pretty much latched onto every single conspiracy theory out there.
He seems to believe it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems to believe it.
That there's argument about him in the chat. That's what.
I love how people are waking up to stuff. I mean, we're talking about UFO stuff. I had a clear UFO visitation. My brother was there. Didn't see any aliens, but whoa. When I was like 9 years old in Columbia, Maryland, a lot of military stuff around there. So I can't say if we made it or whatever, but I could only talk about that in certain circles, but now everybody's talking about it. That's like people talking about narcissistic abuse. People are, the stuff that's in the Epstein file. It's all out there. And we're all like waking up, and you believe that it shifts the energy. And think about what it does when somebody walks into a room that has kind of been oppressed, and they just bring this like light and love, and everybody kind of like, or they get out because they can't handle it, which is good. And that's the season we're in right now. We're under fire. It's like gold being purified. All the crap comes to the surface. What am I doing? Get scraped away. But forget this party stuff.
You're going to wrap up with the UFO story?
Yeah, I'm going to wrap up. That was my UFO story. I'm not going to, I don't need to go into. I was not vax injured. I had to get the vaccine to keep working. And COVID wiped us out financially.
That was another Jimmy Dore comment.
What?
The vax injured stuff.
Oh yeah, the vax stuff. Yeah, that as far as I know, who knows? Um, it's been interesting to open my mind to, Fauci lying about things. I haven't done a deep dive in that, but during that season, there was no way I wouldn't even consider it that Dr. Fauci was lying about anything. I didn't realize how much money Joe Biden took from Israel. I love Hunter Biden, though. I love Hunter. Okay, you guys. So, in the near future, I will do a members talking more personally about some of our story, my story. And, oh, and did anyone order a lipstick yet? You didn't see? Okay, so I get asked about the lipstick all the time. We have, I don't know how many we have left, maybe 20 or something. Oh, 30, Doug said. And then they're gone. They don't make them anymore after that. I think I actually have it here. Where are you? This. It's Gwen Stefani's. Don't get bitchy with me about it's Gwen Stefani and she's MAGA or conservative or whatever. She doesn't have this company anymore. So I tracked some down. We have like 30 left. And then that's it. They're gone. But the first 4 people that order it, I feel like I'm on QVC, you will get one of her mascaras. And these are usually pricey, but I'm not going to do anything with them. So, I mean, this would last me 100 years. And like I said, I'm 57. Also, Doug wanted to offer, what are we doing? The metal ones. And if we run out of the metal ones, we also have the mugs. We have some, I should have one. Do you have one? If you order, I think $30, he said, he handles whatever. We're going to $30. I got to pimp this stuff, got to pay the rent. So you get, this is a travel mug. They're good. They're secure. Like I'm not even going to try. And you can't put it in the dishwasher. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. I hate those videos on TikTok where they're like tapping. Ugh. So it's the full logo. Change your thinking, change your world, think happy stuff. Because when I first had the think happy stuff idea, it needed a tagline. Otherwise, it came across kind of flippant. So, but not everything has the change your thinking, change your world on it. This does. And the full color logo. So you get one of these free with $30 purchase. And until when? Probably just tomorrow night. So they don't need a code or anything, right? If you can, don't worry about it. This won't keep you from getting the free thing. But if you can put a star after your name, is that what we were asking? Just so we know that for some people, they like have to go into their PayPal and change it. So don't like worry about it too much. But these are really great. But we have like 18 of these. So tomorrow midnight. I don't. Hunter is funny. He's killing it on social media.
West has placed 2 orders.
Awesome. Like now?
Yeah.
Rebecca West 2 orders?
Yes.
Are they being shipped to different places?
No.
Well, then let's include extras for her too, because of like shipping stuff, paying shipping twice. We just got some car magnets in that I'm not 100% happy with, but we'll give them away. I don't want to like not any. My standards are. Okay. Do you have spray on hair for bald spots? No, I don't. I tried the powder once, but it's been so great to go gray. So great. The magnet thing is true. Yeah, I will put in some free What?
That's another COVID backs thing.
Oh, okay. I wish I could hug you good night. I don't know if you're talking to me, but I'm going to presume you were. Group hug. Group hug, you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the way that you are encouraging each other. My skin looks good. I do have great skin. Not gonna lie, I have great skin. Do you know what you want to know what I use? Doug, could you sorry, in the bathroom. It's that it looks like orange little on the sink there's the little shelf that I have. Please though, I don't they don't pay me for this, but I get credit. But this seriously, it's awesome. Um Froya, where are my glasses? It's great. Um, Anti-age and insane glow. What's so funny? I don't know if you can say it, but see it, but insane ends and then it starts anyway. Anti-age and insane is what it looks like. Glow Day Balm, and it's like a it's not a cream. It's more of a not like Vaseline. What would that be called? Anyway, it's funny because the night one, it has a slight orange hue to it, and I put it on rather thick. It can feel really heavy if you put it on too thick, but there's a link. I'm pretty sure there is a link in my YouTube something where you can get this. There definitely is on my Instagram where if you use my link, it might even give you a discount. Now, where they're really smart with their marketing is they offer you a substantial discount. I think it's like 30% if you subscribe. And so it's hard to pass up subscribing, but then you have to get 2 months before canceling it. Although the first time they let me cancel it after the first time, and then I was like, "No, I really miss this stuff. It's really good." And I got a set, one for dark eye circles and then the day balm and the night balm. But you guys, they have a sorry, I know this turned into an infomercial. They they have this scrub, but it's like a little container like this, but it's like a very fine sand kind of stuff, and you mix it with your cleanser. And I wish it had like a shake top. I guess you could put it in a shake top and you mix it with the cleanser and then you scrub because constantly exfoliating. Now, listen, I've had work done. I've had work done, but that doesn't like you can have work done and still have crappy skin. Okay. I do have good skin and I didn't choose my parents. So good genes and great doctors. But it is important to take good care of our skin. You're putting the link in the chat.
Yeah.
You are amazing. You are awesome. My dog just perked up. Doug wasn't even initially supposed to be a part of this. Like, I mean, not like he shouldn't be, but it wasn't part of the plan. But the first time we set up, I didn't like, I mean, I could figure it out, but I just didn't want to figure it out. And he took that over for me and sat on the bed over there. And we're just in a corner in my room, our room. It's very simple. I wish I had more space. I love how Baron, or Lionel, oh my God, I love his setup. I wish, the camera could be farther and I, had bookshelves and whatever. I like showing my art. I'd like to have more of the art up there. What I was going to say earlier is that maybe I should start featuring a piece of art and give description and a price. I hate to put public pricing, but it's annoying when somebody's selling something and they don't put the price publicly. So I just don't want people to be like, "Oh, really? That's how much that is?" I don't care. I mean, whatever. I'm a 57-year-old woman who works in Hollywood. So I have thick skin, but thick, soft skin. They should pay me. Baron. Oh, Baron says Candace's room is deceiving, like it's crazy small. Please do not change any of your current face, please. I don't have fillers. Like, this is this is bad. I did the math of what fillers and Botox. Like, if I were to maintain like what I was doing at one point, and it was crazy. And I figured out that if I just didn't do it for 3 years, I could do like I had a brow lift and then not have to do all the other stuff. And not that I had to do any of it. My dad died, left me a little money, and I knew that's what he would want from me. That's a joke from my set as well. But I went through when I moved out here, you guys would die if you saw pictures before I moved out here. I still look like me. All my friends from 20 years, they were just like, California looks good on you. Nobody went like, what did you do? Like, nobody did that. I lost like 50 pounds. I was so depressed and oppressed. I just wore that on my being. Just little, these two side teeth were just back a little bit. Got veneers just on those two. So what? My body. And I feel the need to say this now. Like, I don't buy, my clothes are like Goodwill. My sweater's Goodwill. I'm always wearing something Goodwill. I cut my own hair. I don't buy fancy purses, fancy shoes, fancy clothes. We don't travel because we live in a really beautiful area. So we don't go on holiday. We don't eat out like almost ever. We are tomorrow with the son who moved here from Nashville and his girlfriend. So we're excited about that. Everybody spends their money somewhere. I don't have like car payments. We have older cars. Everybody spends their money somewhere. But anyway, it's been years and I don't have plans to, do anything. But your dad was on hospice. I was a hospice volunteer for a while. I watched near-death experience videos like intensely for a while, and I wanted to like be in the room where people died and be with them and not have people like die alone. And it was amazing. I didn't have any like woo experiences, although one time I was leaving the facility and there was this imagine like a shooting star, like almost on your eye line, but the facility was up, raised, like not on a mountain, but pretty, elevated. We live like near the Santa Monica Mountains and looked out and there, like, so imagine a shooting star, but really fat. It was not a meteor. It was like bigger than that. It was pretty amazing. So, okay, we are heading out. With everything weird going on in the world right now, they're cutting, like, from what I understand, Medicare pretty much gone. Doug is like, get off the thing. If you have medical stuff you need done, please don't put it off. Things could get weird. If your doctor will give you 3 months of medication instead of 1, get it done. Have a good flashlight. 3 months food. I'm not sensing anything. I don't have anything like this isn't a premonition. It's just good. Yeah, cutting Medicare, the food stuff, it's heartbreaking. We needed it because we adopted kids. Because we weren't just going to bitch about people choosing not to have children. And so, and then what? Erika Kirk is out there saying, Well, the government shouldn't help you raise, well, not all of us are sitting on $150 million, basically. And yeah, Charlie was offered 120 million at Aspen. And I will follow up on that soon. Okay. And it may have gone up, but in this one meeting, this one donor was told 120. And I've got the receipts. And I'll do that story soon. Love you guys. Can you hear me if I talk like this? This has been fun. You guys are amazing. I'm sorry it took so long for your heart surgery to get approved, Moon Goddess. Happy Father's Day to you guys. May it be a reminder that there is a heavenly Father or love in the universe that surrounds you, whether you want it to or not. It's there. Okay. I'm high closure. I hate not being able to say goodbye. I see you guys. I'm doing a rundown. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. Say goodnight to each other. Do the comments just go away forever when we sign off? They stay? Okay, good. Glad you got your surgery. Take care of yourselves. You got that little ache and pain. Don't put it off. Dental work, get it done. Good night, everybody. Love you guys very much. Thank you for being here and for we're going to get through these crazy times together. All right. I need a sign off. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions. What? Final. You should see Doug. He's crawling out of his skin. No, I'm just teasing him. All right. I love you guys. Doug's going to. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.